You're a Shawn Mendes fan, and you're probably clicking this video because you saw a video that I posted that got 12 million views with Shawn Mendes kissing Camila Cabello live at the Rogers Center at his first stadium show. But before we get into that, and before we get into the In Wonder review, and before we get into the live concert review, let me tell you a little bit about who I am and why this 35-year-old brown man, single and straight, is reviewing Shawn Mendes concert videos. I'm a massive Pop-Tart. I grew up going to concerts. When I say grew up going to concerts, specifically pop concerts, I mean I grew up watching Britney Spears open up for NSYNC. I've seen Justin Timberlake 10 times. Spice Girls reunion tour. I've seen Adele, I've seen Fifth Harmony, I saw Lady Gaga's first show in Canada. I find myself going back and watching those videos that I took on my phone, or listening to music and transporting myself into a time where we could actually all be together and listen and watch live music. And with this whole COVID 2020 lockdown, I just thought, you know what, Farhan, let's put it out there, let's reminisce together, and let's talk about how awesome that Shawn Mendes concert really was, especially now that it's out on Netflix. And let's also talk a little bit about the In Wonder documentary. Okay, a little story. I had tickets in the 200 section. I'm not gonna lie, I made friends with another security guard. I walked down with my girlfriend and I made it to the front row. That's why you see the amazing videos that you see. A little swindling did happen, but when the lights went down, everything was absolutely phenomenal. And let me tell you, there is nothing I can say about this concert other than it was probably one of the top 10 shows I've ever seen in my life. The energy that this kid brought, the happiness and the joy that I saw on his face the entire time was something like I have never seen before. It was pure awe. It was like he was blacking out on stage. When he came out and he looked at the crowd, 55,000, yelling his name, screaming his name, ready for him to perform, I couldn't help but feel chills down my spine. Looking at everybody, and he was just wide-eyed, and he was like, I cannot believe this was happening. It was a pinch me moment, but you could tell that he was just absolutely shook to his core, but also that he was very, very grateful for all of us as his fans. There were times where he would be performing and I would literally see him stop and he would just look around in amazement, not knowing what was happening. I actually specifically remember a moment at the very end of the concert. He performed In My Blood and it was an extended cut. He's running around the stadium, he's super happy, he's hugging fans. The big confetti is going up, the streamers are going up, the fog machines are going up, the place is going crazy. It's his last song. And he's having a difficult time walking away off that stage. And he kept on looking back, But also to that point, he also said to his bandmates, Zubin and the guitarist and the drummer and everybody, goes, guys, look at this. He's like, look at this. And I actually visibly saw him say, look at this. And he's looking in pure amazement and wonder. How did we do this? How did I do this? How did I achieve that? And in that moment, I really felt proud for the kid. I felt proud to be Canadian, and I felt proud that this kid has a clean image, he has good music, he's talented, and you know, we're putting him up there right with the likes of Drake, The Weeknd, Bieber, Shawn Mendes, Alicia Cara, Jessie Reyez. These are all Ontario-bred, talented musicians, and I was so happy to be from the same city. So In Wonder. Here are my thoughts on the In Wonder Netflix documentary. We've seen a lot of artist documentaries before. Katy Perry's is excellent, Lady Gaga's, Taylor Swift, Miss Americana, Justin Bieber, which is one of the best ones I've ever seen. The Shawn Mendes one was pretty pure, right? It didn't really portray him as having any demons or going through real struggles. I don't want to say that and make me seem like I'm not empathetic. But the kid has a squeaky clean image, right? He's just a normal kid from Pickering, Ontario, who wants to hang out with his friends. Some things that really stood out to me were, number one, his apartment, his condo, which is beautiful, which is also 16 minutes away from me. Come on, Shawn, if you want to hang out, I'll be your friend. But number two, that his parents are still really living in a humble place in Pickering, Ontario, and he's still very close with his friends. But a couple of lines that really stood out to me in the documentary. Shawn Mendes is wise beyond his years. The kid is just, you know, he's really articulate. He can speak to his feelings. But there was one moment he said, he was speaking about his relationship, I think, with Camila. And he was saying, you know, sometimes it's hard to describe things and put them into words. And it's kind of like when you try to take a picture of the moon with your iPhone. And sometimes things aren't meant to be captured, right? Sometimes things aren't meant to be photographed. They're just supposed to remain that way in the moment. You can't really translate some of these things onto video or onto photographs. So that part was really nice to see. But it was also nice to see his human side and how much he actually cares for his fans. when he couldn't perform in Brazil, how much it hurt him, but how he's still striving to get better, right? And what an integral part he is in making the next music, right? Wonder is going to be an amazing, amazing album, and I'm really excited to see where he goes with it. It seems super orchestral, and working with Justin Bieber, I was super happy to hear Monster as well. All in all, the documentary was great. I did wish it showed a little bit more of his flaws in a way, but hey, this one was for the fans. This wasn't for a casual Shawn Mendes viewer or somebody who's just browsing on Netflix. If you're a fan of Shawn Mendes, I'm sure you loved it just as much as I loved it. A couple of things I really loved about the concert. I loved his energy, as I said. I loved the fact that you could tell that he was home in front of his friends and his family. He was genuinely awestruck and thankful for all of his fans. It was amazing to see him perform that live in a stadium. I really felt like he was thankful and appreciative of us, the Mendes army, even if it includes this 35-year-old brown man. But what I didn't really like about the concert, and that's, trust me, this is hard for me to say, but what I didn't really like about the concert was the moment where he sang Youth. When he sang Youth, they had given all these little papers, you know, like, we are the leaders of tomorrow, and it seemed kind of gimmicky to me where everybody picked up these papers and they were kind of like, I understand the message of it, but it seemed like it was really, really a little tacky. One thing I really, really loved about it as well were the two covers that he did. He did a cover of Fix You by Coldplay, which is one of the greatest songs of all time, and that went into In My Blood. And he also did a cover of Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and that was absolutely phenomenal as well. I can't really say too many bad things about the concert. It was pretty damn phenomenal. Oh yeah, and Camila Cabello being there was freaking fantastic, let's be honest. It's the pandemic. If anything, this year has really made me realize how much I miss live music, how much I love concerts, and how much I miss that connection of singing along with everybody, 55,000 people in a stadium. And it's got me thinking, doing this video has been pretty fun for me, that what if I went back and did some other reviews? Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Fifth Harmony, you name it. If you'd like to see some of those reviews with some pretty cool footage, because I usually have pretty good seats, please like and subscribe, and until then, we will see you next time.